Welcome back. If you're struggling to stay consistent in the gym or your new diet or anything you're doing to try to lose weight, this is the video that you want to watch. Saw this online, see if you can relate to it. I go to the gym for a little while, but then I quit and take weeks or months off. And then after talking with this person, said I have a plan for my goals. I'm just a lazy piece of crap. They said that they think the problem is that they go to the gym based on motivation and not discipline. And motivation does not last forever. So once it's gone, I'm gone from the gym also. Click like if you can relate to that. You're not the only one going through it. Let's get through how to fix it. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help you stay consistent with weight loss without relying on motivation. This is what I do. All right. So, what I want to say first when it comes to gym motivation and starting for a while and stopping for a while, it doesn't really matter. You can go to the gym when you feel like it. Now, I say this, it doesn't sound like something a normal health coach would say, but based on 20 something years of working out, the motivation comes and goes. It goes in phases. And overall, it's not the biggest part of your life, what you're trying to do. So if you don't prioritize that highly and sometimes you're not consistent, it doesn't matter. And what that does, that helps you understand that you don't have to put so much pressure on going to the gym because that makes it harder. It makes you feel bad about yourself when you feel like you're supposed to always want to be able to be ready and all that stuff. You don't have to. You just don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can just skip that. Next thing to look out here is to get a program based on your goals and then have a weekly plan for all those things, then follow through. So it's three parts here. Get a program based on your goals. If you don't know why you want to work out, then you're going to have a lot harder time doing it. If you're doing it just because you think you should, then that's going to help. That's going to cause you to feel guilty, feel like something's wrong with you. When you don't do it, you're going to feel lazy. But really, it's just that you don't have any reason to go to the gym. You don't feel like it. So just embrace that. Make sure that your plans are based on your goals. The questions I ask a lot here: what do you want your life to look like? Think about that, right? Do you even have to lose weight or get stronger or go to the gym to do that? Or is there something else that you want to do? Do you want to have great dance skills or be able to hike for over an hour or at elevation, right? Anything like that. What do you want to do? Get a program based on your goals, right? If you want to have less fat, then a fat loss program can help. Working with a health coach like myself, I'll be glad to help you with that process, right? So get a program based on your goals. Don't just make up a bunch of stuff and think that you had to follow through with it because then you don't have any motivation at all. Then you have struggles to stay consistent and you go searching on YouTube, but the problem is you don't have clear goals. All right. Next, have a weekly plan for whatever you're trying to accomplish. So the next question, how do your habits support the life that you want and what you want your life to look like, right? So when you have a plan, you're going to be eating every day. So you want to have a plan for that, or at least guidelines that you can stick to. Eating, exercise, right? If you're struggling with the gym, then think about what plan you're going to have, how often you're going to go, what you're going to do when you get there. Otherwise, you can get discouraged or be like, I don't really know what I'm going to do when I get there. So you don't go. It's really simple when you break it down and think about the process that's going into it. And that's what I help people understand here on my channel. All right. And then the third part of this is following through with your plan. So don't just make a plan and not follow through. Follow through with it. Actually do the things that you intend to do. Now, it makes it easier if your plan is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. If you know exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and you actually want to do it, right? Those are the things that make it easy to follow through. If you take a small enough step, clear your schedule, make it so you can actually do it, then that'll help you a lot here. All right. So those are the three things there. The next thing to think of, you have a plan that you actually want to do, but you find yourself still struggling to stay consistent. You want to look at why or what contributed. If you missed, think about why you decided to do what you did instead, right? So it's not just that you skip the gym, it's that you skip the gym and watch TV, or you went out with friends, or you took a nap instead, right? Or anything else. The other activity that you did is the thing that you want to assess. Why was it easier, more fun, more enjoyable, simpler for you to do that than to follow through with your plan of going to the gym, right? If you didn't have a realistic plan or you didn't know what you were going to do in the gym, then it's harder to do that, right? So you have to weigh these things appropriately. So some questions you might ask yourself: did you need a rest day? Were you tired? did you not really want to do that workout, right? If you know you're going to have a really hard deadlift day and you don't want to do deadlifts that day, you might be more likely to skip that, right? So assess these questions. Don't just say like, I suck, I'm lazy, something's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. You just didn't set up your system so you can actually get the results that you want. Other thing to look at here, maybe you just wanted to be at home. Sometimes you don't want to go to the gym. You can do a home workout, or you can just not want to go to the gym and recognize that and be at home, right? And then there's also something else to consider. Some people find comfort in believing that they're not good enough to stay consistent. That can be heavy for you. Sorry to drop that bomb on you, but that you're not the only one who feels that way. If this is what you're struggling with, just be aware of it, right? If you like, okay, I've got great momentum, and then you miss one day, and then I don't know, you can't get back on track. Ask yourself this question and just be aware of it. If you feel like that's what's bothering you, that's okay. You can work with a therapist. You can get another source of accountability, like a health coach, anything like that, to get you on track there, right? And what I want to say is identity shifts can be uncomfortable. If you were trying to change from someone who wasn't always managing your health intentionally, if you weren't always going to the gym and being consistent, it can be a big challenge to shift that identity. Be like, yeah, I'm someone who regularly goes to the gym, or I usually take care of my health pretty well, right? Those kinds of things can be uncomfortable. Or I stay consistent when I go to the gym, right? Those affirmations, those things that you identify as, right? Those can get you mixed up. So if you feel like you traditionally, historically have been lazy, right? Or like this person, they call themselves a lazy piece of crap, right? If that's your identity, then you're going to have a bigger challenge changing into the person that you want to become. So be mindful of this process. There's something else I can help you with the Live Aligned method. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about is this person was struggling with like staying consistent for a little bit and then falling off track and then losing it for like weeks or months at a time. This happens a lot. This is kind of like people buying into the slippery slope fallacy. And it doesn't have to be that way, basically. You don't have to use a momentum play to build your habits, and you don't want to use momentum to keep you from establishing new healthy habits like going to the gym. So it's just not mindful decision making. When you do that, a lot of times you're like, oh, I already missed yesterday, right? So I'm not going to go for the rest of the week, or I'll start again on Monday, right? Same with like diets. When people mess up on their diets, like, I already had a big lunch, so I'm just going to have whatever I want for dinner, right? Don't do that. Instead, identify that these are independent decisions. And when you are doing that, each choice is its own like pathway, has its own challenges. So you want to celebrate it when you do it right, but also if you miss it, then you want to adjust at the very next opportunity that you have. Otherwise, you're continuously making ineffective choices that don't support the goals and don't help you build the life that you want. And that's not what you want to do. So if you want help getting out of that, I'll be glad to help you there. What you want to do is take ownership of it. So you say like, I missed the gym yesterday, I'm going to go today, right? Or I missed the gym yesterday, I don't really feel like going today, but I know I can make a choice right now that's going to support the goals that I want, right? Take ownership of that. I'm in charge of that. Think about that for yourself. No one else can affect that but me, or I'm the biggest agent in that. Then you can decide what to do each day instead of like, I didn't do it yesterday, so I'm not going to do it again today. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you have questions on that. Or if you don't want to have to decide every day, you can make a realistic plan. Like I talked about earlier, that's a huge advantage is like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm intending to do. I like to follow through on things that I plan on doing, and I'm going to do them, right? So that takes out the daily decision-making process and keeps you going on the path that you want for your health, your fitness, the life that you want to lead. Now, if you're struggling to stay consistent, I have the real life weight loss check link below to help you identify what's getting away, if it's motivation, if it's realistic planning, if it's getting too stressed out, right? The quiz is below. Check it out. It'll give you what's wrong and what you want to work on and next steps to take to get on track with that. Then next, watch how to make working out easier so you actually stay consistent. I've got a whole bunch of videos on this. I'll put the playlist below too, but this link will be here. That's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.